So when we look at the regions of the Solomon Islands, Papua New Guinea, and it's 150 degrees east, the Anu. When you look at the Anu in the Orient, the rising sun, the land of the rising sun, this area, which is significance to the equinox in measuring the balance of the equinox for the crossing, the winter crossing, or just the crossing of the soul, which is the equinox is the fall and the spring. So as I understand, as we're approaching this period of the springing forth of the Abib, the month of Abib, the green ear, you have to understand these locations and the significance of geo politics and just geometrics and the measures of geographical locations and how they affect the circadian rhythm or their aspect of what characteristic or attribute they bring because of their location, geographic location in the rhythm of the soul, the circadian rhythm of the soul. So when you look at the Pacific Ring of Fire and the cultures in this realm, you'll notice that there's really no difference in the cultural village culture, aboriginal primitive culture that you find in the Virgin Islands and Dominican Republic, Haiti, Puerto Rico, the Caribbean, the Virgin Islands, South America, and the Americas, showing the connection of these regions of the eastern border of the Pacific and of the western border of the Pacific. But when we look at the soul and the calculation of time, this 150 degrees east is very significant that we see as of today when the sun was at the high noon here in the lands of the Americas. It began a new day in these areas. So you understand anew and the counting of an annual, anu, annual, and the root when you look at annual and ANO, and to become a new person, new, N-U, N-E-W, or to know, knowledge, and to gain knowledge. The ancients gained this knowledge in regards to the Orient and the Austral regions, of these regions being the rising sun. And you can find the cultures here, whether it's the Australian Aborigines, the Solomon Islands, Papua New Guinea, the Andaman Islands, genetic traces of what they call Stigopegia, which is the enlarged tissues of the rear. We understand the woman, the Venus, the mother, and the great mother, the golden mother of the West, Ama, and Ma, and Mim, the chaos, the Pacific Ring of Fire, water, the 40 days and 40 nights. This is the western border, the other side of the rim, from the complete opposite, or the opposite 120 degrees east from 120 degrees west of the borders of California. So the connection with the peaceful ocean, Pacific Ring of Fire, the Great Mother, the Ark of the Covenant, the ring, matrimony, marriage. And as you see, as this particular time of Aquarius, as you look at Lupercalia, you get ready to get into the festivals of Valentine's Day, Lover's Holiday. You have to understand the language of love, romance, the Romans, and the invasion of the fort, the invasion of the woman, the demonizing of the woman, and the connection with the woman in the water, and the woman giving birth to the Y chromosome, the mother sun, the Maor, the great ruler, the matriarch, the monarch. So when you look at these things, the Black Madonna and sun, and the Virgo, the mother, the peace, and the crossing of the mother's son to build the house, the great house, talking about the whole earth, the geopolitics, and the significance of that building, and the need to circumnavigation according to the mother's paths, the mother's 12 paths, or the lotus flower, the creation of primordial mound. When you look at these particular regions of this 150 degrees east, starting in the core Arctic regions, these regions are experiencing the winter. And as you go south to the Tropic of Capricorn, these regions that are 23 degrees south on the Earth latitude, they're experiencing the summer. But 23 degrees north of the Tropic of Capricorn into the core regions of the Earth, you'll look here, as we see here, the Curie Islands, and in these islands here, which have a volcanic archipelago and a connection with the different volcanic regions here, in regards to this ring of fire and this matrimony of the great mother, the chaos, the mayhem, and these great rulers, and the representation of dragons And you have to understand these volcanic regions and the soul significant in these ancient Phoenicians, the phoenix, the dragon, the crossing over from death into life, and these builders who wanted to build the same significance of the souls crossing in their masonry, in their architecture, to show the significance of the mother and the earth and the connection of this continuum of time, space, and matter, and how these elements, magmatism, melting, different craftsmanships of melting materials, different things develop from this ancient observance here in these particular regions. So when we look at blacksmith and metalling and creating different things from heat and burning, magmatism and liquids, melting rock, magma into different liquid forms, we look at alchemy and alchemists. The early alchemists, the early chemists came into these regions. So when you look at the priests, Kohen and Kahuna, the big fish, and Levi, Levitical, Leviathan, dragon, serpents, dealing with serpenthood, dealing with Shem. We understand Shem, Melchizedek, and the dragon orders, the draconian orders, the order of the 3-6. When you look at the 3-6 and the draconian order, the order of the earth, the material realms, the embodiment of all that is within the material, right? So the material realm and the embodiment of that, these draconians were the complete measure. So when you look at Ma'at and the Hall of Justice, this is the connection. When you look at Ma'at, the 42 laws of Ma'at, 6, right, and 7 are multipliers that equal to this 42. So when you look at the seven deadly sins, or the 7 ruling planets, right, and the 6, the perfection of the material realm, this gave this 9.432, this harmony of judgment under these different measures. So we understand the crossing of death, the hall of judgment, the scene of the hall of judgment with Amat, and these different crossings. You have to understand the Pacific Rim, the ring and the crossing of the Pacific from the Americas over into Asia, to come into these lands with the wind patterns, to come into the lands of Asia and into Africa for the festivals of the summer, for the mother festivals of the summer, to again cross back into the Americas across the Atlantic after the summer. So the winter was the Pacific crossing, and later, as the Passover took place in the spring, over 90 degrees east, the summer crossing would begin in the time of the summer over the zero, the landmark, the polar opposite of the winter, the north and south. So this particular time is the time of coming into the south to spring up, right, into the ancient east, or which is connected with the ancient west, the Americas, this 90-degree pole line of the equinox, which was calculated by this rising and setting of this particular pole line of 150 degrees east. When you look at Aquarius, the 40 days of Mem, the 40 days of night, if you understand 30 days from 120 from the end of Aquarius, brings you into the spring, and then 10 days, the festivities of Passover. You understand the connection of the Passover and the 10th day of the month of Abib, and in these mythical connections with these ancient festivities based upon celestial heavens. So these ancients navigated according to the heavenly realm into this region of the Anu. When you look at the Anu, the short stature, whether it's the stigopegia, the fatty tissue, and the rear is what is significance to this ring of fire, this romper room of volcanic action and earthquakes. This is the voice. This is the Bath Code. This is the daughter's voice, the home of the voice of the Lord, the charge of the Lord, and destruction and the chaos of Mem, the 40 days and 40 nights of water. The protection was in these waters, especially in the Pacific and as well as the Atlantic, which protected the lands of America after this cataclysm of a flood, of a great earthquake that occurred. So please enjoy the remainder of this video for the images and scenery here of 150 degrees east of the rising sun, the land of the Orient. Peace.